Okay, this is our Sinoplant 6000 litre self-loading mobile mixer. This is the largest in our range, starting from a 2500 litre, 3000, 5400, and then we've got this machine. So before we do anything else on the machine, we need to do the calibration on the weighing system, which takes place inside the cab. So the first step to doing the calibration is you need to zero the computer system. So with an empty bucket, you need to lift the bucket once, drop it down, which the computer will then pick up the weight of the bucket, which you need to zero, which you do as following. So you need to lift slightly, make sure the bucket is pulled up all the way before you lift it, and this is where I'm going to lift it now. Make sure the bucket is pulled up all the way up, and then steadily pull back on the joystick to lift the arms until you hear 2 beeps. That's 1 beep. That's 2 beeps. So the beeps are the weighing points for the computer. So it's got the first beep is where it starts weighing, the second beep is where it finishes weighing. That's in that range where it picks up the weight. So you need to make sure you lift at a consistent speed between those 2 beeps, otherwise you're not going to measure the correct weight. After it's beeped twice and you get the weight of the bucket, you drop it back down, pull the bucket flat, and then on the screen where the 0 option is, you need to press 0 and the computer will give you confirmation that zeroing is complete. This means the weight in the bucket will not be figured into the weight of the material that you lifted. After this, you need to load the bucket full of weight with at least 500 kgs. You can use rocks, which we have weighed. You can use cement bags, anything as long as it weighs a minimum of 500 kg that you can lift in the bucket. So after the bucket has been lifted and brought back down with no weight inside, and you press the 0 key, then you go menu, weighing calibration. Please enter password. The password for this is 8688. Okay. Then you'll be in your weighing calibration screen. So for that type of machine that this unit is being used on, you need to go into single weight calibration. Make sure single weight calibration is selected before you start doing anything. If you go non-linear or total weight or repeatability, it won't function for what you need the machine to do. So make sure you have single weight calibration. Then with the bucket loaded with weight, we can use stones, you can use cement bags, as long as you know the total weight of what is inside the bucket, because to do the calibration you need a minimum of 500 kilograms in the bucket to do it. So when you're on the screen, the single weight calibration selected, then you will have to lift the bucket, make sure the bucket is pulled all the way up, then you need to lift and drop the bucket down 5 times at a constant speed. If one lift is faster than the previous lift, you're going to get different weights and your calibration won't be correct. So at a constant speed, you lift the bucket until you hear the 2 beeps. That's 1. That's 2 beeps. Then it gives you the weight of what's inside the bucket, your lift count. So this is the first time it's been lifted, and your lifting speed. So make sure every lift is close to 18 or 19, constant speed. Then you bring it back down slowly until you hear the 2 beeps. 1, 2. Now you're starting with count 2 of the lift. This you repeat 5 times. 2,
7 kilograms.
Back down.
7 kilograms. 8 kilograms.
That's lift 4. Now we're going to do it one final time.
Residue 3
2 beeps.
0 3 7 kilograms.
So you will see across all 5 lifts, the speed was constant. If it differs with one, that's okay, as long as the weight is relatively close to each other. So the reason you need to know the weight of what is inside your bucket, after you've done the lifting 5 times, then you have to input the weight inside the bucket, hereby input weight. You just click there. We know these stones we are using are 560 kilograms in total, so then you just type 560, which is in kgs. Then here it says click to calibration. If you don't click this and you go back, then you didn't calibrate the machine. You need to make sure you press this, and it'll say calibration completed, and then you can go back to your weighing screen. To make sure you calibrate it correctly, on the main screen you can just lift the bucket once again. So we know the weight should be 560 kilograms.
Residue
There you go,
4
560 kilograms. So we know that weighing computer is weighing correctly. Now you can empty whatever you had inside your bucket and you can start loading. Okay, now that we have done the calibration on your self-loading mobile mixer, you are ready to start work, but it is always important to remember that the bucket needs to be curled all the way up before you start lifting the arms to prevent any damage happening to the cylinders. And also it is important not to press the 0 button while you are working with the machine, otherwise it resets your calibration and then it'll have to be redone. And that concludes the calibration of your machine.